Welcome back. We're going to continue working on our 2022 Honda Odyssey Elite. Last time we took a little bit of it apart so we can make a list of the parts that we were going to need, and then we sent some of our parts out for repair. Well, I got a few of those parts that we put on our list so we can start throwing this thing back together. If you want to see what this thing looks like and what the rebuild entails, links up there. It'll get you caught up. It's also in the description. So the first parts that I got today were our curtain airbags. So we're going to go ahead and throw those in there. We're going to have to pull the trim panels out, pull the headliner down, and we can throw our bags in there. But I'm going to leave the headliner down because then we're going to have our PDR magician take care of some of the little dings that we had in our roof skin. And it makes sense to do that when the headliner is already out, so we're not doing it twice or trying to work around it. And then we'll go ahead and throw it all back together. So let's get started. This process is the same for any Honda Odyssey 18 to 24, whether you have LX, EX, Touring, or Elite. The Elite just has a lot more stuff in the headliner, so you're going to see all the stuff. If yours doesn't have it, your job just got easier. We did get a little bit of a head start last time. We pulled our seat out of here, basically just so I could fit in here to get our airbag module out, and we pulled our airbag module and our seat belt out so we could send them out to My Airbags to be reset and repaired. The seat didn't have to come out, well, at least not right then, but we will have to come out eventually because we have to change the side airbag and the seat cushion. So we just kind of get a head start. The other side I left in there in case I want to drive it around. I got a place to sit besides, a milk crate. So let's go ahead and get started getting our airbags out of here. Start in the back, work our way forward. We'll start with pulling the sill plate out for the rear lift gate. It's got a couple little knobs in here that unscrew. Those hold the bottom of the cargo net. I didn't get a cargo net with my purchase, so either the previous owner kept it, like they did with a few of the floor mats, not all of them, just random ones, or they had a little bit of self-control in the Honda accessory department when they were buying their minivan. After we unscrewed our cargo net anchors, it's just a little wiggle and pull, and that sill plate comes out, and we can fold our seats down. A little cargo area. Now I'm going to pull the second row out of here. You don't really have to, but it's just easy to take these things out, so why not get them out of our way so we don't have to work around them. Other than the fact that they're heavy and awkward, and that one latch never likes to cooperate. There's always one. But once they're out of the way, it just makes it so much easier. So we'll pull the other one out. See if this latch wants to fight us. Yep, it's always that inside one. I win. Now I understand why Chrysler made that stow and go seating. Now we can pull our sill plates out. We'll pull the front door out, just a little wiggle and pull, pops right out of there. Same with the rear door. And then we'll head back to the back. We'll pull that cargo net hook out. The top of our trim panel here. A wiggle and pull and that pops out. And we got that razor blade that's slightly more dull than it was last week because we did leave it on the floor for a week. Cut the rest of our airbag out of there. And we'll pop these two covers off. Find the hidden screws behind them. And a little wiggle and pull. The trim panel comes out. But we got a few plugs there for all of our electrical stuff. And one more in the back that I couldn't reach. This is for our rear cigarette lighter. Or 12-volt charging port as you youngins would know it, but we know it as where the cigarette lighters went. They just started using it for charging stuff. And our trim panel's out of there. We're going to finish cutting the rest of our airbag out with our dull razor blade. Toss that in a pile. Well, I haven't lost any fingers or acquired tetanus yet, so let's keep using our rusty razor blade and push our luck. Cut the rest of this airbag out of the way. We'll unscrew the upper cargo net hook. Little wiggle and pull. Disconnect the trim panel. Someone was using the fancy window shade option on their Honda Odyssey. We'll use a pick to unlock the door to find our secret screw down here. And one more up here. A wiggle and pull. And we got some more electrical stuff up there to disconnect. And our trim panel's out as soon as we untangle it from the seatbelt. It's on to our upper tailgate trim. We got to pop our dome light cover off of here as we hid some screws in there. Pull those out, and then a little wiggle and pull. This whole trim panel comes down. And then we got to fish the seatbelt out of it. That's the problem with 7-passenger vehicles. 7 seatbelts. 8 if you got the optional second row middle seat. Now we can pull off our passenger side B-pillar trim. Pull the cover up on the bottom of the seatbelt, and then bolt the seatbelt. And we'll pop the cover off the top, unbolt the seatbelt. A wiggle and pull, and our lower trim panel pops off of here. And the upper, little wiggle and pull, but there's one evil clip at the top, and we're going to leave it in there and just slide the trim panel off of it. We're going to do the same thing on the driver's side, and then we'll head up to our A-pillars. We'll pop the little cover down and pull our screw out. Little wiggle and pull. And this fancy one has a speaker up there, so we have to disconnect that. And we'll do the same thing on the passenger side. Pop our little cover down, unscrew it, wiggle and pull, disconnect our speaker. And now to more fancy stuff. Little wiggle and pull down our bezel around our DVD player, disconnect the wiring harness, and we'll unscrew the camera because I didn't want to mess with the plug for that. We'll pull down our rear screen assembly, just a bunch of 10mm bolts, and then we'll unplug it, and there's a harness connected to it, so we'll pop that off of there. And we'll head up to the front. We'll pop our little covers down for our map lights. Yes, once upon a time we had paper maps, and we needed these lights so we could illuminate them and find out where we're going. We didn't have GPS. Oh yeah, by the way, there were screws underneath those, that's why you took them down. We'll pop down the sunglass holder / analog rear view camera. Some of you know it as a mirror. This vehicle is marketed to multiple generations. We have the analog for the boomers, and then we have the digital camera in the back for, I don't know, Gen Alpha? Are those guys driving yet? Whatever. I can't keep track anymore. Anyway, we got the new technology, the technology, all in one van. And you know what? It all works the same. Although I believe the old technology is a lot more reliable. And while I was on my generational rant, we pulled down our sun visor clips, just twist them out of there. And now we're going to pull down our covers so we can see our rear view mirror and all the nonsense that goes with it. And since we're here, we'll pull out the sun visors. There's a little tab that you push in the back and twist it, and it pops out of there. If you don't get it right on the first try, your job gets a whole lot harder. We're going to pop this harness off of our A-pillar on the driver's side. Unplug it. And yes, I am wearing gloves, only to protect the headliner from the dirt on my hands. I've reached the point in my career where I sweat oil. Motor oil. Used. Pull our sun visor out of this side, and like I said, if you don't get it right on the first try, your job gets a whole lot harder. Not that much harder. I got it on the second try. We'll unplug it, put that in the pile of parts that might make it back on the van someday. Now we have to pull off our, oh darn, my wife is driving handles. That was censored for YouTube, but we call them something else normally. You pop the centers down, and then inside the centers there's 2 little metal tabs. Just push up on each side until they pop out of there. Sometimes the hardest part is getting a little plastic center out of them. We got the centers out of both. We just got to pry up on the little metal tabs. Helps if you pull out just a little bit. Once you get one side off, work on the other side. We'll do the same thing on the other end of the handle. 1 down, 3 to go. Pop the plastic covers out of the centers and squeeze our metal tabs. We're halfway there, and you can see the creases in our headliner, but there's no tears, so I'm going to send it over to the dry cleaners and see if they can iron it out. Popped our last handle out of here. Now we got that rogue seat belt. I guess you get 8 seat belts whether you have 8 seats or not. So we pop the cover down. It's just held in by some clips, so a little wiggle and pull pulls it out of there. and we'll fish our seatbelt through it. We're ready to pop our headliner down. A couple of push pins in the back and some magnets. And a washer line in the back here. And we got a wiring harness that didn't want to come with. We're going to have to go get that. Our headliner is down, that's what counts, right? Actually, if I were just changing the curtain airbags, I have enough room to work. I could definitely put them all in here. However, because we are going to PDR the roof, I want to have this out of the way. So we're going to continue taking out our headliner, which gets a little more complicated because they weren't nice to us and had a nice place to disconnect that wiring harness. It disconnects from everything else up there. So we have to kind of take it off of both sides, and then this, which is the washer line, does not disconnect. Like, why? It disconnects in the back, but not in the front. And to undo it from all of these wires would just take too long. So not sure what I'm going to do with it just yet. It does run all the way down through the firewall and out to the washer bottle. Why not put a connector up there? You put one in the back. I don't get it. Now back up to the wiring harness in the front that conveniently disconnects from everything in the headliner, but not the headliner itself. So we have to unplug it from the roof and take it with. And I found a solution for our washer line here. A little snip snip. And then we'll put our own little connector in there like Honda should have. But it wasn't in the budget. They couldn't afford that extra 1 penny per vehicle. We'll slide our headliner out the back. And we're losing a bunch of our little blue blocks. Those are spacers. We'll keep track of them, and we're going to glue those back on after we clean our headliner. Yes, I said clean. And get all the wrinkles out of it. Now we can pull our C and D pillar trim down. There's a little clip up here for, well, clothing hangers and also for the latch for our little sunshade for our window. We got our D pillar trimmed down so we can get our C pillar trimmed down. And it had one of those evil clips on the top that we just slipped off of there. And we just pull our D pillar trim down. And we're going to have to buy a new one because these are self-destructing when the airbag deploys. We do have a speaker back here because we have a fancy Elite, so we have to unplug that. And we'll head over to the other side, pop the cover down, pull our screw out of there, pull the screw out of our little clip for our sunshade, and back to our C pillar. We're sliding it off that evil clip now. And that's the evil clip. Now we can start unbolting all of our airbag. Got our drain tubes for our sunroof that run over it, so we have to unclip those. We'll pull the plug out of it. Continue unscrewing all the way to the front. And it does clip in to hold it in place before you put the screws in. So we have to unclip that and then toss it, you know where. Now we can install our new to us used airbag. A lot of people made comments talking about using used airbags, but if you drive around in a car and the airbag's never deployed and they were OE, what's the difference? It's the same thing. Now there are companies that have started rebuilding airbags. No, maybe I'm old school, but I'm not ready to go there yet. So we're just going to use used ones. New ones are the best. I will agree with that. But the used ones are a whole lot cheaper and road tested. Since the factory provided us with a bunch of hangers on the back of our airbag, we just clip those in and then we start running our screws in now that it's held in place. And yes, I did set my driver to manufacturer's torque specs. Continue with the back half. And we'll plug everything in, connect our drain tube for our sunroof, and we'll head over to the other side and start unscrewing all of our old airbags. Now, as somebody that grew up with cars with no airbags at all, I do feel like the curtain airbags are the most valuable of all the airbags. Unfortunately, they seem to do the most amount of damage and have the most intensive labor to replace them. So I'm kind of conflicted of if we really need them. Fine. Got one last little part up here. And since the factory put them in, we'll put them back. Clip it in, and bolt it in. Plug in our drain tube and the plug. And we'll clip our little hangers in there. Sometimes that's the hardest part. Then screw it in and work our way up to the front. I wasn't kidding when I said sometimes clipping the hangers in is the hardest part. I'm really struggling here. I win. Run all of our screws in there, and we're done. We'll give it a little pat to let it know it's safe in its new home. That's everything it takes to change the curtain airbags in our 18 to now 26 Honda Odyssey. Doesn't matter if it's a Touring, Elite, or LX or EX. The LX and EX just have a whole lot less stuff in the headliner, but you saw the Elite, so everything else just a whole lot easier. We're going to leave the headliner down, but to put it all back together is pretty much the reverse of what we just did. And if you don't believe me, subscribe to the channel and you'll get to see me do it when we get all the rest of our work done and the rest of our parts, and we put it all back together and deliver it. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take sh**. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take sh**. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.